Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a high-stakes, totally invisible machine that gets triggered millions of times a day. And honestly, you probably have the key to it sitting in your wallet right this second. We're pulling back the curtain on how credit cards actually work. Because this isn't just about paying for your groceries. It's a massive financial double-edged sword. It's a tool that empowers some people to build immense financial flexibility while silently, almost invisibly, dragging others into a total quicksand of debt. Just think about it for a second. What if every single swipe, every tap, every time you insert that chip, you're instantly triggering a massive, highly synchronized global financial machine? Ask yourself how a simple 2-second action at a coffee shop completely activates what is essentially an everyday financial thriller. It's an absolutely incredible piece of modern technology. Millions of us are using the exact same piece of plastic, yet we're experiencing wildly different financial destinies. So why do credit cards act as a wealth-building tool for a select group, but turn into a financial trap for so many others? Let's figure it out. Okay, here's the absolute foundational truth that separates those who win this game from those who lose it. A credit card is not free money. It is borrowed money. When you use it, you are not spending cash out of your checking account. You're actually taking out a microloan. The financial institution is stepping in, they're paying the merchant on your behalf, and they're basically saying, hey, you owe us this amount. It's a short-term loan, and it demands immense respect. Now, a lot of people completely misunderstand this next basic parameter. Your credit limit is simply the maximum amount a financial institution allows you to borrow at one single time. That's literally all it is. It's a hard ceiling on borrowed funds. It's definitely not an indicator of your personal wealth. Just because a bank says, hey, you have a $15,000 limit, absolutely does not mean you have $15,000 to just go spend. Treating a credit limit like it's a personal wealth metric, well, that's the very first misstep in the financial thriller we're unraveling today.
Section 1. Anatomy of a swipe.
Let's look at how fast this works. Step 1, you swipe, and the merchant instantly requests payment. Step 2, that signal gets routed through a massive global card network. Step 3, your specific issuing bank checks your account, makes sure you're actually under that limit we just talked about, and approves the transaction. Step 4, the merchant gets a digital guarantee of payment. And Step 5, that exact amount is added to your running balance. This entire sequence, routing across the world, verifying limits, pinging bank servers, authorizing the sale, it all happens in milliseconds. It is a technological marvel of unparalleled scale, all designed for ultimate convenience. Section 2. The psychology of plastic. Let's slow down for a second and think about the pain of cash. Handing over a crisp $50 bill, it creates this visceral, immediate friction. You physically see the money leaving your hands. Your brain registers a real loss. But on the flip side, we have the ease of swiping. It's intentionally frictionless. A piece of plastic goes back into your wallet looking exactly the same as when it came out. There's a profound psychological detachment purposefully designed into this process. You get the shiny new item, but you don't immediately feel the loss of the funds. And because you bypass that visceral pain, swiping literally equals higher spending. Research proves this definitively. That exact lack of psychological friction is exactly why consumers will so easily throw just one more extra item into their physical or digital cart when they're paying with plastic. The system is, quite literally, designed to quietly bypass your brain's natural financial defense mechanisms. Section 3. The hidden profit machine. Make no mistake, credit cards are an incredibly lucrative business. The house makes its money through a really clever, multi-layered revenue stream. First up, interest charges. If you don't pay your full balance, the bank charges you notoriously high interest on whatever's left. Then you've got fees, annual fees for premium cards, late payment fees, foreign transaction fees. But there's a hidden layer here too, merchant fees. Merchant fees alone quietly generate tens of billions of dollars every single year. Because every single time you swipe, the business you're buying from pays a small percentage to the network and the bank. It is this invisible processing infrastructure completely built to profit from every single move you make. Section 4. Escaping the debt trap. Let's walk through this timeline together because this is exactly how a really useful tool becomes a totally suffocating burden. Month 1. That psychological detachment we talked about wins, and your spending exceeds what you can actually afford. Month 2, you can't pay the statement in full, right? So balances carry over. Month 3, the trap springs. High compound interest starts accumulating on that carried balance, adding entirely new debt right on top of your existing debt. And by month 4, your minimum payments have bumped up, the principal is growing even if you've completely stopped spending, and escaping the cycle suddenly becomes this daunting, dangerous climb. The math is now working relentlessly against you.
Treat it like extra income, and the house wins. That's the stark reality of the debt trap. Treating your credit limit as an extension of your paycheck or as your own personal wealth is the absolute fastest way to forfeit your financial freedom. And here's the thing, the banks are banking on this exact mistake. They are betting that the frictionless swipe will lead to carried balances, and carried balances lead to years of high-yield interest payments straight into their pockets.
Section 5. Beating the system. But here's the twist. When used responsibly, you can extract incredible value from this ecosystem. Think of it almost like a massive wealth transfer from the people who pay interest to the people who don't. Look at these premium benefits. Unmatched convenience. Purchase protection, where the card company actually fights merchants for refunds on damaged goods for you. Unrivaled fraud protection, because if your card is stolen, it's the bank's money on the line, not yours. Plus, you get travel benefits, lounge access, and cashback rewards that essentially act as a permanent discount on literally everything you buy. Smart users extract all of these perks systematically.
And you know the craziest part? They do all of that while paying exactly this number. $0 in interest. This is the amount paid by a disciplined user who pays their statement balance in full every single month, before the due date. The second you pay your balance in full, you reset the board. You get all the rewards, all the protection, and all the convenience completely for free. You completely flip the dynamic. The bank is essentially paying you to use their money. So how do they actually do it? Well, financially successful people adhere to strict, totally non-negotiable rules. 1. Spend only what you can afford right now, today, in cash. 2. Pay balances in full every single billing cycle. 3. Avoid unnecessary debt entirely. 4. Use rewards strategically to fund travel or lower everyday expenses. And 5. Never ever miss payment deadlines. They strip all the emotion out of the swipe, and they replace it with unbreakable discipline.
At the end of the day, the card is just a tool. It is not a source of extra money. Credit cards are inherently neutral. They aren't good, they aren't evil. They are simply highly efficient financial instruments. It's your knowledge, your awareness of those psychological traps, and your unyielding discipline that ultimately dictate whether you win or lose the game.
I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought to consider the very next time you reach into your wallet. Take a hard look at your own daily habits, look at those monthly statements, and ask yourself honestly, are you using the system to build your wealth and secure free benefits, or is the massive global financial system silently using you? Because that choice ultimately is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, because truly understanding the unseen mechanics of your money is absolutely the first step toward mastering it.